What you pitch today will air in October. What you pitch in November is a January episode. So if you've been waiting until you feel ready to be on podcasts, the calendar is making decisions for you already. Like 6 to 8 weeks is standard. Sometimes, I mean, my podcast is Good Girls Get Rich, and sometimes we have guests that get aired pretty quickly. But I would say for my show, like 4 to 6 weeks. But for many other shows, a lot of the shows that I am a guest on, 6 to 8 weeks seems to be standard for me. Established shows run like a full quarter out, and people don't really advertise this. It's just kind of something people in the podcasting world know, but it's not something that necessarily we think to even talk about, right? Which is why I'm doing this. And it's why people, pitch in December, hoping for like a December episode, and it doesn't, and then decide podcasts don't work because it doesn't get put out there till March, right? Um, the cost to you isn't really that one missed episode. The cost to you is like when you say I'll do this when things settle down, right? It kind of just means no visibility for a full quarter. And it's not something maybe you notice until the quarter's gone, right? A couple of those, and then it's a year, right? Like so. So the reality here, the booking the podcast isn't the payoff. That's like the raw material. That's like your marketing. The episode airs, share it, you get it in your featured section, you get in front of other people's audiences with it, borrowing stages, and it becomes proof that the next pitch it's proof that makes the next pitch easier, right? So October's episode is why you're like pitching in November. Does that make sense? Because you're seeing results from it, and you're like, oh, let me do this more. I love this, right? I love when clients call me because they heard me on a podcast. So you do more of that. So if you don't know me, I'm Karen Yankovich. I help accomplished women get seen on stages that they didn't have to build. I use LinkedIn and PR as the tools to do that. I am a LinkedIn OG. I've been teaching LinkedIn for decades now. This is not like something I just started doing when LinkedIn became the hot thing. I also host a podcast, Good Girls Get Rich. So it means I sit on the other side of this inbox, right? So today I'm telling you how it actually works from where I sit. So let's talk a little bit about how booking actually works. The part that I don't see people talking about is that often hosts batch. They'll do 3 or 4 recordings in one sitting, and they don't think about guests for a month then. Their attention on this is like spiky, not continuous. Like I love when I'm way ahead with podcast records because then I can focus all my energy on whatever it is I need to be doing, like in my business that particular week, or better yet, like sitting on the beach for a couple days, right? So podcast is something that is easy to record ahead of time, which means the timing often beats, like, I hate to even say this, but or maybe more than I'd like to admit this, the timing of when you're doing this sometimes beats the quality of the show, right? A decent pitch landing during a week that host is booking beats a great one landing like the week after that. That's just how the calendar works, right? Follow up is how you land in the right week. It's not rude. Most people send a message and hear nothing and then decide they were right to be scared and don't do anything more about it, right? So you have so there should be like a pipeline in this, right? You're going to pitch, you're going to hit reply. You're going to well, the pipeline has 4 pitch, right? First, you want to pitch, then you're looking for a reply, hopefully with a scheduling link, and then there's a record, and then it airs, right? Each one adds time, and that's where the 6 weeks becomes sometimes 10 weeks. Every host I know is more worried about filling their calendar than about being pitched. We're getting an insane amount of pitches. So don't worry about being an interruption. I'm going to teach you how to pitch, right? But understand right now, we're just talking about the timing of this. You, done properly, are a solution that arrived at the wrong time or at the right time. Make sense? Does that make sense, my friends? All right. So think about this. Drop a comment in below and let me know, have you pitched podcasts? Have you been interviewed on podcasts? Just a quick little yes or no. And if yes, did you follow up? Like, be honest. This is a safe room. Drop a few in the comments. Drop a few where they're on LinkedIn or YouTube, and I'll get back to you if you're watching the replay on this. And again, a little reminder, if you're new, I'm Karen Yankovich. This is Category of One. I'm here every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern, 7 days a week for 10-15 minutes through December 18th is my plan. I help accomplished women, consultants, executives, women stepping into their next thing, get seen and get chosen, not by posting more, but by being findable and by being clear and by being in the right rooms and by borrowing other people's audiences. So how we're doing this is Monday, we're talking about your profile. Tuesday, we're talking about stages and press. Wednesday, outreach. Thursday, the daily ritual. Friday, getting chosen. Saturday, we answer one question. Sunday, we talk about your week ahead. So let's talk a little bit about like seasons in podcast pitching. I believe now, late August through September is the best pitching window of the year. Hosts are back from summer. They're planning Q4. There are gaps in the calendar. They're starting to think about 2027, right? November and December are kind of dead, right? Because everybody's kind of distracted, right? And then everybody pitches in January all at once. So January is really, I think, the worst month to pitch and the best month to already be booked, which means you should be doing this now. So this is the time. This is it. This week is the window. One of my cousins is a nutritionist. I remember she posted on LinkedIn, on Instagram one day. Today's the day. Today's the day to buy nectarines. So I'm like, perfect. I want to bought nectarines. So that's what I'm telling you. Today's the day. Today's the day to do some review to some podcasts that you want to send out some pitches and reach out to some of those hosts. Okay. This is not a countdown I made up. This is how this actually works, right? So let's talk about exactly what to send. We talked about this last Wednesday. If you've never engaged with this person before, please don't pitch them on the first outreach to them. Please don't do that. You've got time here. I said end of August into September, so you've got some time here. Comment on their stuff for a couple of weeks first. Maybe listen to an episode, drop an episode in one of your feeds somewhere, tag them. They should know your name before your ask shows up. Keep it short. 3 or 4 lines. Who you are, what you talk about, why you think their audience would be particularly interested in this. Maybe maybe you saw a guest that talked about it from a different angle, right? And you can show up with a similar conversation, but from a different angle. Maybe maybe it's something that they just didn't mention at all. And you're like, why didn't you talk about this, right? I had those things. Just quick though, 3 or 4 lines. And give them one angle. Don't give them a menu. I can talk about blue things. I can talk about yellow things. I can talk about red things. You tell me. Don't make me choose. I'm busy. Okay, I'm busy. Multiple options makes the host do the work of choosing, right? One clear idea gets you, a quick answer. And both are progress. Yeses are progress, no's are progress, right? You know if it's a good idea. Listen, it's my show, right? I will take the lead. But when you're and I'm not going to expect you to write my whole show for me, but when you're pitching me, make it easy for me to go, ooh, I love that idea. But if you're giving me like a multiple choice thing, then I also have multiple choice guests to choose from, right? Another thing you want to do when you're reaching out to people is reference a real episode. Please don't say, I love your show. Even better, write me a review, right? P.S. If you're a fan of Good Girls Get Rich, we love your reviews. Send us a review. Spend a specific reference a specific show in your comment, right? And talk about what you actually thought about it. Give me actual feedback on it, not just love this. I love how you support women. Give me real feedback. Let me say like, oh my God, I never thought about it like this. I love when you said this, because not enough people say that, right? Follow up once, 10 days later, nicely, kindly. Don't guilt them. Don't apologize for existing. Please, for the love of God, don't make up some kind of crazy, like duck, duck, goose theme in your emails, like duck, and then tell me that. Like, I can't even tell you, I'm sure you guys are getting them too, but I can't even tell you the kinds of emails I've been getting lately. I think I got one like recently that was like a Marco Polo kind of thing. Like, I'm saying Marco, you say Polo. Come on. Please don't do that. Follow up. Don't make it kitschy. Just, yes, I want you to catch my attention, but be a real person and write these things yourself. So let's talk a little bit about why hosts say no to qualified people. Understand that booking you is a gamble. I'm gambling my hard-earned audience's attention with no evidence that you're any good at on a mic. So make sure that if you're reaching out to me on LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile, because I'm going to check you out, right? I'm going to check you out. I want to make sure our values align, but I also want to make sure that that you have the presence to be good on a microphone. So if you don't have a clip that I can quickly listen to, if it doesn't say, if I don't know who you are by your LinkedIn profile, if I have to figure this out, I'm not going to. I'm going to move on, right? Make sure that you put something, maybe even in your featured section, something that it makes it easy for me to find and listen to. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. The top card of your LinkedIn profile showing like this, that top card shows up all over the place, right? This is the same problem that top card, but different, like a different consequence. You have to, if you're not telling me what you want me to know about, you're not telling me how great you are behind a mic and how fun it's going to be to have this conversation with you, I'm gonna move on. Again, not because I'm being judgy, but because I don't know and I don't have time to figure it out. So here's your homework for this week. Pick one show. One, not a list. My suggestion is going to Apple Podcasts, find a competitor, put their name in Apple Podcasts, see what shows they've been interviewed on, and find one that you think you'd like to be interviewed on. That takes 5 minutes. So find one show. I do want you to have a list, but not today. And go leave a real comment on something the host posted this week. Like go into their LinkedIn and comment on something that they posted this week. That's the whole job. That's the whole job. And then if you're doing that, today's Tuesday, if you're doing that today, send out a pitch to them on Friday. And by then you've seen your name, by then they've seen your name twice, right? Which is the entire difference. I know it feels like more work, but I am telling you, it is so much less work because you're gonna get so many more yeses. And that's what I want for you. I want to build ease into this process for you. I want this to be simple. I don't want this to be complicated and take up 2 years of your life. Like, make this simple. So if you just got here, I'm Karen Yankovich. This is Category of One. I'm here every day at 9 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn Live and on YouTube Live. And on YouTube, we have a playlist. If you go to my YouTube channel at Karen Yankovich, you can see the Category of One playlist. So you can listen to all this stuff. Here, it's short, 10, 15 minutes. We're at like 12 minutes right now. We're about to wrap. In September, all the stuff we're talking about, I want to help you with, but I can teach you in these videos, but I want to help you. I want my eyes on your stuff, right? Because I want there to be more wealthy women in the world. I think our voices are being silenced and money changes everything. And I want to help you make more freaking money. Okay. So for all of these things I'm teaching you in these videos to be most effective, you've got to have a great LinkedIn profile. And you're not a LinkedIn profile writer, whatever you are, you're a consultant, an author, whatever, right? I want to help you with this. So in September, I'm doing Category of One, the 3-day LinkedIn profile intensive. 3 days, we're going to rebuild your profile that the host is going to see before they decide. Okay, it's completely free. I'm going to be in there. My team is going to be helping. And at the end of it, we have a special surprise. Our rockstar LinkedIn profile writer is going to jump in and help you, with her eyes on your profile. We're going to do lots of that. So it's very, very hands-on and completely free. I want you to have an amazing Q4. And to do that, we got to get you primed in September, right? So comment category below and I'll put you on the list for that. Again, it's completely free. So yesterday we talked about your top card, right? The top part of your profile. Today we talked about how to start filling your calendar. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about pitch slapping in a party dress, which is exactly what not to do with everything you just learned. I will see you tomorrow at 9.